Welcome to part 7 of the series. No time to waste. Let's dive straight into the act. Jinvi stood furious, her eyes glowing with a fearsome intensity. The air around her trembled with power. She was ready for battle. On the other side, Viso Rion hesitated, visibly unnerved by Jinvi's fierce presence. There was something terrifying in her aura, something primal. Without a moment's delay, Jinvi stepped forward, her energy flaring violently. She charged toward Viso Rion with full force, determined to strike. Viso Rion's eyes widened in shock. What is this power? Then, in the very next instant, the arena was engulfed in a blinding explosion. Gasps echoed across the coliseum. The crowd was stunned. Even the Master and the Sword Empress, watching from above, were left speechless. The Sword Empress slowly turned her head toward the Master, clearly impressed. "The Gongdong Sect's disciples, they're truly remarkable," she said with a rare smile. The Master nodded with quiet pride. "We were fortunate to have such talented children join our sect," she continued. "This match is crucial. It could tip the balance between justice and evil. Tell me, Master, are you confident in the outcome?" The Master hesitated. His face grew serious. "That's a difficult question," he replied. His expression darkened slightly. He wasn't worried about Jinvi, he was more concerned about her opponent. Back on the battlefield, Viso Rion had narrowly avoided Jinvi's explosive attack, but something felt off. Jinvi had vanished. Panic crept in. Where is she? Viso Rion couldn't locate her at all. Jinvi's speed and strength had surpassed anything she had imagined. Closing her eyes, Viso Rion tried to focus, relying not on sight, but on her senses. That's when she felt it. Something was coming from behind. She spun and dodged just in time. A thunderous impact hit the ground where she had stood. Her heart pounded. She hadn't even caught a glimpse of Jinvi's form. The attack had been too fast, too elusive. She couldn't even identify the technique. And once again, Jinvi disappeared. Viso Rion's nerves were beginning to fray. If this continues, she thought, I'll be stuck defending myself the entire time. Gritting her teeth, she gripped her sword tightly and raised it. With a burst of determination, she began unleashing rapid, sweeping strikes in every direction, desperately trying to keep Jinvi at bay. The audience held their breath, witnessing the clash of raw instinct and supernatural skill. The battle had only just begun, but the tension was already unbearable. The arena fell into a stunned silence. Whispers spread among the audience. Where is Jinvi? No one could spot her. Panic and confusion rippled through the crowd. Then a single spectator pointed across the arena. Gasps followed as all eyes turned to the far end. There she was, Jinvi, standing at the opposite side of the battlefield. Everyone was bewildered. When did she move? Not a soul had seen her cross the field. Her expression remained cold and unreadable, but the fury in her eyes was unmistakable. Her gaze locked onto Viso Rion with quiet rage. Viso Rion narrowed her eyes and called out mockingly, "Are you running away because you fear the half-dragon blade technique of the Black Dragon Hall?" Jinvi said nothing. Instead, she took a deliberate step forward, tightening her grip around the hilt of her sword. Her voice, calm and chilling, cut through the arena. "Now I will finally put an end to this." Her face showed no emotion, only resolve. Viso Rion scoffed and surged forward, fury overtaking her. "The one who's finished here is you, Jinvi," she shouted, her voice laced with contempt. Dragon energy erupted behind her, swirling in a display of raw power as she prepared to strike. But Jinvi remained perfectly still, unmoved, her blade at her side. Then came her quiet declaration. "The demonic blade has returned to the Gongdong Sect, and I shall proclaim it to the world." Viso Rion froze. The demonic blade? Her expression twisted into disbelief. That name hadn't been uttered in years. In the very next moment, Jinvi raised her sword. Power surged around her, distorting the air. Her mind drifted briefly to the hidden cave, those forgotten days, the ancient teachings etched into stone, and the lost techniques they unearthed. The foundation of what she was about to unleash. Clutching those memories, Jinvi moved. She dashed forward, faster than lightning, her sword technique honed to perfection. Viso Rion rushed to meet her, unleashing her dragon blade with all its might. Their blades collided in a thunderous clash of power and will. But it was not the clash Viso Rion expected. Instead of resisting Jinvi's strike, her blade began to give way, splintering under the overwhelming force. Jinvi's sword cut cleanly through it, shattering it into fragments mid-air. Viso Rion's eyes widened in horror. Her blade, the pride of the Black Dragon Hall, was destroyed. She staggered back, crashing onto the ground. Blood spilled from her lips as the realization hit. She had lost. Her limbs trembled, and as she looked up at Jinvi, fear overtook her. This is no warrior. This is a monster. Jinvi stood above her, silent and unyielding, her presence now suffocating. "You made my master shed tears," she said, voice low, eyes burning. Now you shall shed tears of blood. She raised her sword, pointing it at Viso Rion's throat. The edge gleamed inches from her skin. Viso Rion trembled, fear finally overtaking pride. "I surrender," she gasped, but the blade had already reached her neck. Jinvi paused. Her expression shifted just slightly. "Next time," she said coldly, "I won't forgive you." A moment later, the referee rushed forward, raising his hand. "This duel is over. Victory goes to Jinvi of the Gongdong Sect." The crowd erupted into thunderous applause. Cheers echoed across the arena as Jinvi stood tall, the undisputed victor. It was now clear to everyone in the arena, Jinvi had wielded the long-lost Demonic Blade Swordsmanship, a technique believed to have vanished 50 years ago. The atmosphere was electric with awe and disbelief. High above, the Sword Empress watched with a composed smile. "The sect leader's confidence wasn't misplaced after all," she said, her voice calm but tinged with admiration. "The return of the Demonic Blade Swordsmanship, it is truly a blessing to the righteous martial world." Beside her, the Gongdong Sect master gave a quiet nod, his eyes fixed on the arena. "The chief disciple displayed it brilliantly," he said. "I am proud of her." The Sword Empress's gaze lingered on Jinvi. A disciple with the Heavenly Martial Physique, the martial world won't stay quiet for long. This is bound to stir the winds of fate. 3 days passed. The moon hung low in the night sky, burning an ominous shade of crimson. Shadows twisted across the landscape and silence reigned, until it was broken by the footsteps of a man approaching an ancient cave. Upon reaching the heart of the cave, he stood before a vast, rippling pool of blood. Bowing low, his voice echoed solemnly, "Blood demons rule. Blood curls the world. We greet the supreme blood demon." Suddenly, the blood in the lake surged upward with unnatural force, splashing violently as a figure began to rise. From the depths emerged a terrifying presence. The blood demon himself, the cult's supreme leader. His form was cloaked in dread, his eyes gleaming with cruel intelligence. "What is it?" he asked, voiced like a growl in the dark. The messenger didn't dare raise his eyes. "The Gongdong Sect has defeated the Black Dragon Hall in open duel, and, in the process, the Demonic Blade Swordsmanship has resurfaced." At that, the blood demon's eyes flared crimson. He stepped forward, each movement oozing menace. "There's more," the messenger continued, his voice shaking. "It is suspected that Gongdong's chief disciple possesses the Heavenly Martial Physique, and it appears the sect has uncovered the location of the 100 Origin hidden cave." A sinister smile curled on the blood demon's lips. "The Heavenly Martial Physique and the 100 Origin cave?" He let out a low chuckle. "How interesting." The messenger dared to ask, "Supreme One, how shall we proceed?" The blood demon's expression darkened. "Move faster," he said coldly. "Those who lag behind." He raised his hand. From the blood lake a weapon emerged, a jagged, cursed blade that reeked of ancient hatred. Without warning, he placed the blade against the messenger's neck. "Shall be met with death." The messenger bowed towards him, his entire body trembling. "I understand, Supreme One," he stammered. But the blood demon wasn't finished. "Even if the Heavenly Martial Physique has appeared," he said, voice dripping with contempt, "nothing will change. Everything is unfolding exactly as I planned." With a burst of fury, his rage exploded. The blood lake churned violently, splashing out in waves, drenching the chamber in crimson mist. His aura was suffocating, darker than night itself. "Soon," he growled, eyes glowing like twin hellfires, "this world shall belong to us." What will be the blood cult leader's next terrifying move? And how will each sect rise or fall in their fight against this growing darkness? The storm has only just begun. Stay tuned for the next part, where chaos erupts, secrets are revealed, and the real battle begins.